In Wembley Stadium this Saturday is the rematch between Daniel Dubois and Alexander Usyk. Dubois does have some advantages coming into this fight. He's 27, Usyk is 38. Both their records are pretty good. Dubois is 22-2. Usyk is undefeated with 23 wins. For the height, Dubois is taller by 2 inches at 6'5". Usyk is only 6'3". The reach is pretty even at 78 inches. So in the first fight, Dubois hit Usyk with a body shot, and the ref called it a low blow. To me, personally, it was not a low blow. It hit above the belt, basically on the stomach and the belly button. To me, a low blow would be like closer to his nuts. I put up a picture here of where the punch actually landed, but the ref gave Usyk time to recover. This was in the 5th round too. I mean, to be fair, Dubois was losing the fight anyways, but this was in my opinion, a legal shot. Usyk comes back into the fight and then knocks out Daniel Dubois in the 9th round. Usyk in the first fight was a very technical fighter, while Dubois was kind of thrown to knock out Usyk. But this fight is very important for Usyk because if he beats Dubois a second time, he would have beat Britain's best between Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, and now Daniel Dubois. The 3 best Britain has to offer. He would beat them all more than 2 times. That's pretty much been Usyk's resume these past 5 years. He's been fighting the big name Brits more than twice and beating them. Hopefully in this rematch, Dubois can get a win because I had him beating Anthony Joshua that last fight where AJ came in and got knocked out. But since that Alexander Usyk fight a few years ago, he's fought Jarrell Miller, Filip Hrgovic, and Anthony Joshua, which he knocked out, something Usyk couldn't do. All 3 fights were wins for Dubois, and he looked great in all 3. I'd say he's improved as a fighter. Hopefully this fight, he can do a little more technical boxing to win some rounds, but ultimately get the knockout. I was rooting for Dubois when he fought AJ too. Nobody believed me on that fight. They said Dubois is fucking stupid, he's big, he's just like, he's nobody basically. And since this was a title fight, Dubois had the IBF world title because he was the IBF mandatory and Usyk didn't want to fight him because he was fighting Tyson Fury for the rematch. So the IBF stripped Usyk of the IBF title and gave it to Dubois, which now Usyk is fighting to become 2-time undisputed heavyweight world champion. Everyone thought AJ was going to win that fight. He was a heavy favorite too. I think it was like a 6 or 7-1 favorite. And then Dubois, being the underdog, comes in there and knocks him out in under 7 rounds. Perfect fight. Love that fight, man. Now, I can tell you what we could expect from Usyk. He's going to fight behind the jab. He's going to come in and use his technical footwork. He's going to come in and box. But from Dubois, I'm expecting he can come in and do a brawl like he did against AJ and knock out Usyk. I'm not saying this because I don't like Usyk, but I just want to see Dubois be the champion. We've seen Usyk go 12 rounds easily, but Dubois has a little trouble keeping up that same pace up into the championship rounds. His defense gets a little sloppy, his offense as well. Hopefully he comes into this fight with better cardio than he did in the Jarrell Miller fight. That one was a little embarrassing. But overall, I would say Dubois has improved as a fighter. So here's my prediction for the fight. And I do think Usyk is going to get the win again. He's going to fight smart. He's going to fight from a distance. He's going to come in and jab. He's not really going to fight Dubois' fight the same way AJ did because he doesn't want to end up like AJ. But taking a look at the odds here, Daniel Dubois is plus 250, so he's the underdog, of course. But Usyk is only at a minus 300. That's looking pretty good for the underdog. They give him a pretty good shot then to win a fight. For those of you who wholeheartedly believe that Dubois is going to win this fight, that plus 250 is for you guys. Now, a decision by Dubois on points is at a plus 1100. So $100 on that, and you walk out with $1,000. But that one's most likely not to happen. That's why it's so high. The lowest odds on method of victory is Usyk by KO at plus 110. I don't see that happening again the same way it happened in the first fight. If anything, I see just Usyk going in there and boxing, getting his belt, and then leaving to get a bigger fight or even retiring as a 2-time undisputed heavyweight champion. And these odds are provided by BetMGM, so if you have a different sports book, the odds are going to be looking a little different. But yeah, to recap, I want Dubois to win. As a fan, I want Dubois to win, but I know Usyk is going to go in there. He's just a better boxer. He's going to work behind that jab. Dubois is going to throw some heavy blows, probably get caught with the counter or something. And in the end, Usyk is going to get the win again. But I still give Dubois a pretty big chance of winning. I'd say it's honestly like a 55-45 fight just because of Usyk's skills. Just because of Usyk's skills and technicality in the ring. Dubois is very hot-headed right now. He's coming in angry because he thinks he won that first fight. So he's coming in angry and have something to prove. He's going to come in there and try to take Usyk's head off again. Maybe even that body shot. Usyk is susceptible to those body shots. He's been dropped by, I believe it was Beterbiev in the amateurs by a body shot. So that's Usyk's weakness, is just straight body shots. Build a parlay with me for July 19th fights. First off, we have Daniel Dubois and Alexander Usyk in London. That's going to be in the morning on DAZN. Daniel Dubois at a plus 250 and Usyk was at a minus 300 on BetMGM. I'm going with Usyk just because he's a safe bet, but honestly, if Dubois wins, I wouldn't be surprised. I want him to win, and as a fan, I want Dubois to win, but I believe Usyk is going to take the win at 12 rounds. I don't think anybody's getting dropped. I think they both learned from their previous mistakes from that first fight. They'll come back better, stronger fighters. This should be a good fight too at Wembley Stadium. And then we have two big main events in the United States. One's in Frisco, Texas. The other one is in Las Vegas, Nevada. The one in Vegas is Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios. That one has a stacked undercard. And then the other one is Jesse Bam Rodriguez and Fumilele Cafu in Texas. So for the Vegas undercard, I'm going with Usyk Pitbull Cruz to beat Angel Fierro a second time. The rematch of the first fight. The first fight, they gave it to Pitbull Cruz. It was a really good fight, but Angel Fierro wants that rematch. He wants the belt. He feels like he won. He deserved the win that night, which honestly, it was a really close fight. It was like a 2-round, 1-round difference of on the scorecards. And then on the undercard of the Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios fight, we have Usyk Cruz versus Angel Fierro at minus 500 for Cruz and plus 400 for Fierro. I'm going with Pitbull Cruz this fight. Angel Fierro did lose the first fight, but it was only by 1 or 2 rounds, so it was a really close competitive fight. But I think Pitbull Cruz can make the adjustment to win the second time. But they're both Mexican brawlers, so I mean, anybody has a chance here. All Angel Fierro has to do is catch Pitbull Cruz with one punch and lights out. He wins the fight. So at a plus 400, I feel like he's being a little disrespected here. I see it honestly at like a 50-50 fight, so maybe 150. So I'd personally put the odds at like at a minus 150 for both. But I honestly could see it going either way. At a plus 400, that's a little disrespectful for Fierro. Since he did so good in that last fight, he showed he had chin and heart, something you can't teach these days. And then we have Sebastian Fundora versus Tim Tszyu. The odds on this one are kind of crazy. Sebastian Fundora being the champion, he's at plus 138. Tim Tszyu is at a minus 150. I'm going with the underdog on this fight, which is Sebastian Fundora, the Mexican-American coming in defending his belts. Somehow he's the underdog on this fight. The first fight, it was when Tim Tszyu got that big cut on his forehead. He hit his head on Sebastian Fundora's elbow, changed the whole course of the fight. Honestly, I think Fundora has learned so much from that fight. He's gotten knockouts too on his previous fights. His two big advantages coming into this fight is his experience that he gained after fighting Tim Tszyu and his reach. I believe the reach is what helped him win that first fight because he was fighting behind that jab, throwing hooks. I mean, they kind of both were. It was a bloody fight. It was a really good fight too, though. So this rematch should be exciting. I'm going with the underdog here, which is Sebastian Fundora, the champion, the title holder. If you like the straight money line for Sebastian Fundora, you're looking at a plus 125. But if you think one of them is getting knocked out and you're taking Tim Tszyu by KO, it's plus 175. Sebastian Fundora by KO is plus 400. So if you think Fundora is going to knock out Tim Tszyu, which I personally do think is going to be a plus 400, those are pretty good odds for the underdog. And then for the main event with Mario Barrios and Manny Pacquiao, Barrios is the favorite at minus 250. Pacquiao, coming back from his long layoff, is the underdog at plus 225. I think this is a little disrespectful too because they're going based off the old Manny, the one that hasn't fought in years, and giving him pretty 50-50 odds that he can beat Mario Barrios. So if Mario Barrios wins, then he beat old Manny. If Manny wins, then that makes Barrio look bad, and they're going to say, oh, he was never champion material if an old Manny could beat him. So for this fight, I'm going with the WBC champion, which is Mario Barrios at a minus 250. I think it's going to go the whole distance. Mario Barrios on points is a plus 200. And Mario Barrios winning on points is at a plus 200. So if you think he's going to win by decision, plus 200 is really good considering he is the champion. Manny Pacquiao by points is a plus 500. And then Barrios by KO is a plus 125. Pacquiao by KO is a plus 500 as well. And for the Frisco, Texas fights, we have Jesse Bam Rodriguez versus Fumilele Cafu. Rodriguez being the favorite by minus 2,500, and then Cafu being the underdog by plus 1,000. Both have titles. Both are really good in their divisions, but I think Jesse Bam Rodriguez is taking this one. He's such a heavy favorite, I don't really think it'll make a difference. And on the undercard of Jesse Bam Rodriguez versus Cafu, we have Diego Pacheco versus Trevor McCumbee. McCumbee coming off a loss to Caleb Plant. Pacheco coming off a win on, I don't remember his last opponent's name, but that last fight he had, he got touched a lot. In that last fight, he got hit way too much, in my opinion. He had a lot of defensive flaws. He was letting his hands go. It was a good fight. It was an entertaining fight, but it was just too much damage that he took, in my opinion, for him to be considered a champion. But he does get the victories in the end, and he has the belts. He's undefeated right now. Now, Trevor McCumbee, they call him tenacious for a reason. He fought Caleb Plant, and watching that fight back, the only reason I think he lost was because of the ring rust. He had been out of the ring for a few years. Caleb Plant had been pretty active, and McCumbee put up a great fight. He knocked down Plant like 2 or 3 times. In the end, he did get knocked out because Plant made the adjustment. But I think the ring rust was a big factor on that. If they run it back, I don't know if Plant can win that fight. I think McCumbee has a really, really good chance at beating Plant again. But on this fight, you're looking at Diego Pacheco minus 1,400 and Trevor McCumbee at plus 800. So I expect McCumbee to come in fast and rough and just rumble. So I expect McCumbee to come in fast and rough, brawl with Pacheco, or at least try to knock him out or something. And then Pacheco to hide behind that big jab he has with the reach advantage and win the fight through boxing technically and using the jab. I don't think it's a high possibility of somebody getting knocked out, but I could see Pacheco knocking out McCumbee with some body shots, or McCumbee knocking out Pacheco with like or McCumbee knocking out Pacheco with the hook or something. Although I don't think a knockout will happen, I could see Pacheco knocking out McCumbee with some body shots, which he's really good at. He did it to Selecki. I honestly would be surprised if McCumbee won by knockout. I don't think it's gonna happen, but he has 2 hands as well. So in the end, I do believe Pacheco's gonna get a victory on this one, and then we'll see who's next. After this, if he beats him convincingly, I'd want to see him against any of the top 5 right now between the WBC and WBA. Any of the top 5 in there, perfect fight for Pacheco. Climb the rankings. Perfect fights for Pacheco to test his chin and his skills, and just climb the rankings to get a shot at the super middleweight championships. So in the end, we have Usyk Cruz at minus 500, Sebastian Fundora plus 138, Diego Pacheco minus 1,400, Mario Barrios minus 250, Jesse Rodriguez minus 2,500, Alexander Usyk minus 300. Those six legs get you plus 494 as a parlay on BetMGM. So if you put $100, you're walking out with almost $500. But let me know what you guys think. Is Trevor McCumbee a good fighter versus Pacheco? Is Alexander Usyk gonna beat Daniel Dubois? Does Manny Pacquiao really stand a chance versus Mario Barrios?